Today we're going to show you how to build a Steam machine, a compact gaming PC a little bigger than an Xbox that brings you the best of both worlds in your living room. You can see our full parts list for this project at the Lifehacker article linked below. Start by opening the case. Unscrew the two screws on the back of the side panel and slide it off. Unwrap the front panel cables and put them to the side for now. Next, unscrew and remove the video card bracket. There are 6 screws here, so be sure to get them all. We'll need this later, so set it aside as well. Grab the box of screws and other accessories under it. You'll need these to install the other components. First, we'll install our power supply. Unscrew the power supply bracket, there are 4 screws here, and carefully pull it out. Slide the power supply into the bracket, fan side down, and screw it in. If it has a power switch, flip it to the on position and plug in the case's power cable. If you have a traditional hard drive, you'll want to screw it into the top of the power supply bracket now as well. Put the power supply bracket back in place and screw it in. A magnetic screwdriver is very helpful here. Next, we'll start installing components into the motherboard. Release the CPU lever and open the bracket. Drop in your CPU, making sure the gold arrow matches up with the arrow on the bracket, and slowly pull down the lever. Grab your RAM sticks and undo the latches on the RAM slots. Make sure the notches line up and press your RAM into place. You should hear the latches on the side click closed. Because this case is cramped, now is a good time to plug in the motherboard's 24-pin and 4-pin cables that came with your power supply. Grab the I/O shield from your motherboard box and snap it into your case. Lower the motherboard into the case, making sure all its ports line up with the I/O shield, and screw it in. Once it's secured, you can start plugging in the front panel cables. USB 3, front audio, and the power and reset buttons. You may need to refer to your manual for more information on where each of these go. When you're done with that, it's a good time to install the CPU cooler. Place it on top of your CPU and press the plastic pins down into the motherboard until they click into place. Plug the fan's cable into the CPU fan header on your motherboard. Now grab your motherboard's 24-pin and 4-pin cables and plug the other ends into the power supply. It's a tight fit, but you should be able to do it with a bit of wiggling. You can also install the PSU end of your PCI power cable now. Now the fun part, the video card. So grab your bracket and unscrew the PCI bracket from the mount. Plug in the little PCI Express extender into your video card and lower the GPU into the bracket. Make sure it slides firmly into the socket, then screw in the GPU to stabilize it. Plug in the PCI power cables and lower the GPU bracket into its bay. Again, you'll want to make sure it slides firmly into the PCI slot on the motherboard. Once everything's in place, screw the bracket into the case. Your cables will likely be all over the place at this point, so try to tuck them in the spaces around the power supply to get them out of the way of your components and fans. If you're using an SSD, you can now install it in the 2.5-inch drive bays on the graphics card bracket. Plug in the SATA power cables into your hard drive or SSD, then plug the other end into the power supply. Do the same with the SATA data cable. One side into your hard drive and the other end into the SATA 3.0 port on your motherboard. Plug the 3-pin fan adapter into the system fan header on your motherboard and plug the 2 case fans into that adapter. When you're done, close up your case, screw in the side panel, and attach the magnetic fan filters to the outside. That's it! The case can stand up vertically or lay horizontally on a shelf, just like a game console, and now you can grab a USB thumb drive to install Windows and Steam. Refer to the Lifehacker article linked below for the instructions on how to get everything up and running.